stop. Hands on your knees.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the after show of Startup episode 7 and 8. We got a special guest today. Stay with us.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Wanna be ballers, shot callers, brawlers.
I've heard this song.
You know that Courtney knows this song. Highlight us, Courtney. Highlight us.
I don't know it. I just heard it. I've just heard it.
Guys, welcome to the after show of Startup episode 7 and 8. We have a special guest with us today.
Say
Introduce yourself, social media, what's going on?
What's up, guys? My name's Otmara, but everyone calls me OT. My social media, Twitter is _Otmara, OTMARA. Instagram is _OT. I am the only OT before OT Genesis, just in case people get confused.
What's up, guys? I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_. Courtney?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cohen, COUHEN.
And you can find me all day, Chaos J, KAAOSJ, on Twitter and Instagram. Holla.
What's up, guys? You can find me all day on Twitter and Instagram at Christine Bean with 3 E's.
All right, guys.
Boom.
I'm so excited to have you in studio today.
I'm so excited to be here.
My view is lovely.
Damn, and I ain't even look cute today.
Say what?
Slay,
It's when you don't try, that's when it, you know.
Right.
The effortless look going on.
Yes.
Like it.
So my first question for you is, how was filming this show? What did you think about it? Did you guys, see the success coming? Did you know it was good right away, or?
I think everyone, judging by the actors that signed on, I think the minute they read the script, they knew that it was like a piece of art. And the director who directed it, Ben, he's also the creator. He wrote it, and he's just amazing. So I think everybody knew, like, there was something special, and it was kind of like the underdog. So I think that's why everyone signed up right away. But filming it was, man, it was amazing. As far as for me, I can say it was kind of like a paid scholarship. Like, I feel like I went away to study abroad and got paid for it.
Nice.
That's how great it was.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Dope.
Your character Izzy, how much of Izzy's in Otmara?
Izzy, I tell everyone I'm her in all her glory because it was really easy to find this not easy, but it was easier than other characters. We have so many similarities. I'm from Miami, she's from Miami. I'm from Hialeah, the city she's from. She's Cuban. My parents are Cuban. So a lot of like the traditions and the lingo and just the personality and the traits are in me. It's natural. But I'm not as smart as she is.
Well, she's a genius.
She's
different.
Yeah, I don't
Smart.
think any of us are as smart as Izzy.
She's scary smart.
Speak for yourself.
Oh! What's your IQ, boo?
I don't know, like 5.
We're not going to go there.
No, actually, but I am in IT, so that is my background.
Really?
Yes.
Did not know that about you. You do
I'm a
everything,
network
man.
systems engineer, bro.
So can you code, though?
I cannot.
No?
That is one thing I can't do, but I'll run your network, though, all day. I will set your network from the ground up.
All day.
Servers, back end, all of that.
From the ground up, that's our motto.
Hey.
You must be watching Startup.
I will say the show inspired me to learn how to code. Like, no BS.
Really?
I went on codeacademy.com and tried to
you
learn.
didn't.
I'm serious. I really did, but I just gave up. I'm gonna be honest.
It's hard. It's hard.
Did it
It's
teach
really
you
hard.
anything?
I had this one guy that they linked me up with when I was in Puerto Rico, which is where we shot the show, and he's like the lead code engineer for a university. The guy's a genius. He's like Izzy smart.
Yeah.
And so I would get with him at a local Starbucks and we would kind of code. But by code, I mean we would like break down websites and stuff, like the simple stuff.
Yeah.
And it was crazy hard. It's like you see a website and you're like, wow. And then when you see it
On the back
behind
end,
it,
you see all the
it's-
source.
but like it's really a bunch of numbers and just it's just crazy.
Those like half arrows.
Yeah,
and backslashes.
It's like it's like a different language. Like knowing how to code is like saying you're trilingual. basically. It's like another language.
To that point, how important was it for you guys doing the show to have that authenticity of actually knowing the code and putting that into your character?
I mean, I think for each individual character, we did a lot of preparation as far as everything that entailed to each character. I mean,
like, did you feel more
coding-
confident after having those sessions?
I did, and we did do a lot of research. We also had this one guy in Silicon Valley who would help us with the digital currency aspect and all that stuff. So you do feel better. You do feel better
For sure.
because you feel like you know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
You know, we do play make believe, and you know, sometimes you don't know what you're talking about and you sound like you know, but having just sitting there on the computer and being able to see it and, you know, seeing the language and the aesthetics of it and stuff like that, you do feel better, you know?
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys, so let's get into the episodes. We are reviewing episodes 7 and 8. You can chime in whenever you want. Episode 7 starts off with JJ approaching Tui at the basketball court, basically saying, "You're going to own this city."
We're gonna be kings.
Yeah.
All up in his face.
You're going to own these streets. And
Okay.
at this point, like, with Tui, I still can't read Tui. I don't understand why he is the way he is, like, in the rebellious stage. What you guys...
He's like, what, 14?
I get it, but I mean...
Like 15.
Do you
Ron-
need more of a reason
But
than you're a
Ronald seems
teenager?
Right.
But Ronald, to me, throughout the whole series, seemed like to be a father who had a lot of love for his kids, and even though he was doing what he had to do, showed them the right way to do things.
Right.
So it
Yeah,
kind
but
of...
think about like the preacher's daughter syndrome.
Right.
Okay.
It's like the same kind, you
Yeah.
know,
Right.
just because you have great parents or crappy parents doesn't mean you're going to be a product of that environment
True.
if you don't want to be.
True.
I feel
Go ahead.
I felt like at the point that they were at, Ronald was trying to make that clean break from the hood and doing all the shady things, and it's like Tui's just doing the opposite. Now he wants to get more involved and more engrossed in that, and that's when JJ approaches him like, "You're gonna be a king, like you're gonna run these streets." So weird.
Right, but that's what he grew up watching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He
I
wants
feel like
to
now he
emulate
wa-
his
exactly,
father, and
he
I
wants
feel like I think it's more of him not only emulating his father, but him having his father's back.
Yes.
Right.
But the way he channels his frustrations, you'd think like
right.
you think he's against his
Right.
father.
Yeah,
But he
that's what
really
it looked
isn't.
like.
But he's not. He's not.
Right.
He loves the shit out of his
Right.
father.
Yeah.
And I also felt like he wanted to prove to his father that he can be, you know, the man. He can be just as much of a man as his father is.
That's
and
what it
show
is.
him that he wants to be like, I want to be just like you.
That's
you
what
know,
it is.
and the strong man that you are.
Yeah.
So that's what I usually see when I see Tui is like, you know, he feels like, look, Dad, like I'm not just your little boy anymore. Like I'm a man.
Well, and I feel like, at least in this specific scene, and we see a little bit later as the episode goes on, but I feel like there's a sense of conflict, like, because his dad's telling him not to be involved, it's like he wants to listen to what his dad's saying because he does love and respect his dad so much.
Right.
But then it's kind of like, but Dad, but you're like this. And so it's kind of like,
Yeah.
and there's also that element of like legitimate danger if you don't agree with JJ.
But at the same
You know
time,
what I
too, I
mean?
feel like he's getting validation from JJ and O. Like JJ and O are gassing him at every chance they get. Like, yeah, man, you the man. Like you can do this, you can do that. So they're building him up, which is just helping him say, like, look, like they already behind me right now. So if I can just get my dad on board, like we all good.
I don't think Tui is about that life, and I don't
Right.
think
No,
he,
not at all.
and I
Yeah.
don't think he wants to be. I just
No.
think he feels that pressure of I need to live up to my father, and I think he's not really aware of everything that Ronald is doing as far as with being involved in GenCoin
Right.
and having that ambition to change things for the Haitians and do it the right way.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's aware of all that. You know, as kids, you never really know what your parents are doing on the side, and I don't think he's aware of that. I think it's just like his struggle of wanting to live up to what his dad is, you know, kind of.
And coming into his own.
Right.
At such an impressionable age.
Well, in the earlier episode where he was going to go get him, and then they had that drive-by, when he had that look in his eyes, he looked shook to me. So
Yeah.
I thought, I didn't even think that he was going to go down this path. The look of fear in his eyes when they were doing the drive-by, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like
He's
that's
out,
like
yeah.
like you know,
Yeah.
like Ronnie's point was proven.
Yeah.
Wrong.
No, but that's where I feel like he really doesn't want to be a part of it. But it's like, how do you go to the person that's in charge, the person that's, intimidating and in charge of that life, and that's all you know. And he's sitting here telling you, you got to be a certain way. At 14, like, you're not going to disagree with JJ when your dad's not around and nobody's got your back.
That's true.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, even if you don't want to, like, give him the high five or whatever, you're gonna, because, like, you don't know what else to do. Like, what choice do you have?
Right.
All right, well, the episode moves on.
This is my favorite part.
This is your favorite part? All right, episode 6 ends basically with Benedict saying he's going to get his lawyers, and Izzy comes up with an idea. And her idea is to meet Alex at Radcoin's parking lot before his meeting with Maya.
Bum rushed him.
And
Yeah, that was.
I love
She
this.
just basically
Boss though. I was like,
Radcoin is bullshit.
I gotta say, that's like my favorite line. Because you always say, like, Radcoin is bullshit. Like, how don't you know this? Radcoin is bullshit. Like,
how do you not read their code?
and you say it with so
Like, their
much
code is
passion every
garbage.
time. Like,
And then I'm like, you could read my stuff. It's there if you want. Real nonchalant.
My number's
were
on
like-
the back.
Right, my number's on the back. Please.
Whatever.
it's great.
Yeah.
Loved it.
You better hope I gave you all 10 digits.
But
No, it was genius. I just felt, because I'm like, I would have never thought to do something like that.
I thought it was a great idea because he's about to go into that meeting. It's like if you're about to go into a job interview and somebody from the competing company comes up to you and they tell you something, like, immediately you're going to be in that job interview thinking, like, shit, what's he talking about?
Yeah.
It could be bullshit.
Right.
It could not, though.
But now your mind is
he's
filled
still,
with doubt.
but there's that doubt of like, okay, so there is a competitor. Sometimes you don't know there's an opposing competitor.
Yeah.
So now he
Right.
knows that there is a competitor, and it's it got him thinking, and it got him to call me, which is what I wanted.
yeah, he eventually calls at night, sets up a meeting for the next day.
Oh.
That's okay.
Okay.
Don't worry about it.
We're in the episode. It's good.
So the meeting happens, and he basically asks the question, why are you guys doing this? Well,
Right.
actually before that, let's get to the house. The house is pretty cool.
The big why.
Yeah.
Swimming pool, party atmosphere. This guy is obviously the real deal.
I mean, but when you're going to pitch this guy,
Yeah.
you have to know that that's coming. Like, that's how he lives.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, he's not living in a 1-bedroom with roommates.
Right.
Right. Like,
spooning
his reputation
on the
precedes
inside.
him.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I actually thought it was, I guess maybe it's a little bit later when he's like audited the code, but I have to say I love when you guys are like trying to tell Ronald, who's like truly the salesperson, like, of any of the three of you, and like he's so far from knowing how to do this at that moment. Was like, he said to bring a suit, like, come on, and he was like, I'm not putting my junk where you put your junk.
That scene was so much fun
hilarious.
to actually film. We had so much fun that day. We laughed so much because our chemistry is just so amazing.
You
The
see
three
it.
of us.
It looks like it.
It's so natural, and from the minute we got on set, it felt like we knew each other for so many years. So it was so great. So every time we had, Adam is known for his comedy, so he would always like hold back. So anytime we could like let out that little comic relief, it was just crazy.
Yeah.
Me and Christine were talking last week, and we think that there needs to be a name for you three.
Yeah.
Not GenCoin, but like a name for the trio.
For the trio, yeah.
So, I mean,
When I figure it out, I'll tweet it out.
you'll tweet it out?
Tweet at
Tweet
me.
it out.
We're like the Wolf Pack, but Wolf Pack is already
Yeah,
taken.
it's already taken.
Yeah.
So anyone who's watching or listening, if you have any suggestions,
Seriously.
let us
hit
know.
us up.
Send it out.
Because
We definitely
I
need a
have you
name.
guys down as the trio, which is corny. But
I call ourselves. Well, I guess it's corny to steal somebody else's name.
yeah, we'll come up with something.
Yeah.
We will.
But so Alex asked the big question, why are you doing this?
Right.
And basically gives you a day to think about it.
Right.
What did you guys think of?
I thought that was great, actually, because, obviously the premise of the show, you guys are all invested in GenCoin because just life events kind of threw you in that way. But then
Right.
to hear Izzy's backstory of the situation with her parents and the diner, I think it brought more depth to her character. And I just loved that moment because she got really raw and vulnerable in front of Alex, because when you guys were at his house the day prior,
Right.
Izzy's character starts talking about, giving access to people who don't have anything. And you can tell Alex is like, yeah, I've heard that all before. All these startups are ready to die on that hill. Like, give me something more. And I thought that was great.
Actually, it was the first time Izzy's character didn't seem confident, too. I don't know if you noticed that, but
A
like
little
you
bit
know-
of a vulnerability.
Yeah, like you just didn't want to pitch, and you just kind of quiet.
In the pool or
Yeah,
in
yeah,
the you thought that's where I wasn't confident?
Yeah, you just seem to be kind of.
I think she was like put on the spot.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah,
such
that's
a
kinda
tense
what I got.
situation.
She's like,
This is kind of put on the spot. Like, wait, what do you
Yeah.
mean why? Like, I just told you why. Like,
Yeah.
I just feel like I didn't expect him to want to know so much.
Right.
Yeah.
The big,
Right.
like he kept asking why, and I feel like I gave you a prospectus. It's all there. The numbers
Yeah.
are there. It's all legitimate.
called me for a
the minute
reason, so you
it's-
know why.
Right. You
Yeah.
called me for a reason, so it's like you know why, and so it's like. What else do I need to tell you?
Right.
You know, I'm thinking I've told you everything, and here I go again with the same pitch, like, which is what's on the prospectus, and he still wants more. So it's like, what do you want from me?
Well, not to
Yeah.
mention like you're swimming and taking shots, and it's like he's trying to talk
Right.
business that he's already like been briefed on.
Right.
So I get that. That would be confusing.
I think those characters up until that point didn't think that they would ever be asked that question past just, yeah, we believe in it. To ask further and why and give their personal, life connection to it, I think that it just caught Izzy off guard. Honestly.
Yeah.
Well, and it's so interesting because sometimes you hear about somebody that becomes a doctor because they lost a loved one, and
Right.
in a situation where they couldn't be helped or saved or whatever because there's no cure. So it's almost kind of like, is that where this motivation to give somebody access to money that doesn't have to go through the traditional route, like your parents weren't able to,
Right.
And so is there kind of that motivation that way that is different?
I feel like that wasn't her only motivation. I mean, it was a big part of it, but she's been creating this code for so long, and I think way before she could even understand really what her parents were involved in and what was really going on. I think Izzy's just passionate about changing the world.
Yeah.
And I think could she have changed it through something else? I'm sure she would have. But this code is the first thing she found, and it was her way. And I think, it adds to it the fact that her parents did go through what they went through, and it could have been avoided had she created this sooner. But I think it's her drive to just change the world and help, despite her being crazy and selfish. Her wanting to really genuinely just help people, I think, is what moves her throughout the entire story.
All right.
Dope.
And then
Yeah, absolutely.
they leave off with, they say they're going to meet the next day, and then they have a scene with Agent Rask going to, I guess, a travel agent,
Yeah.
and finds out that you thought what?
Well, wasn't he getting like a fake ID and a new name?
Yeah,
Right.
It was a little more than travel agent.
I get it.
But
It's more like a handler.
Right.
Just like,
It's the travel agent for bad guys.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's legal, like, but
I'm just saying,
yeah.
He's
So
meeting
he
a guy
gets a
that
new
knows the
identity.
guy.
He's gonna live in Ireland, and when he goes to pay, the money's gone, and Rask does what Rask does, and he
Day
flips out.
one, got him.
Day one.
Got him.
yeah.
Man.
Was
But,
is,
you
is
know,
that
but
what
he-
happened?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly
Yeah.
what happened.
Okay.
Day one went ahead, because remember, at the end, Day one said, all right, they took my cut. So, like,
Say it again.
Like, he
Say
already-
it again.
already took my cut. So he had already taken his cut. And then just the fact that the way he hacked her, it's not improbable that he would do that to Rask. The thing that I think set him off. Now, granted, we all know Daewon was in the wrong. He didn't have to hit her upside the head with the bat.
Day wrong.
Daewon was wrong.
Right.
Day wrong. Day, you wrong, Day.
Day wrong. You was wrong.
You're wrong for that thing.
But what I think, okay, like I get it, like and we already know Phil has a temper, but there's just some things that it's just like, just be cool.
Yeah.
I kind of felt that way with Maddie. I'm just gonna jump back real quick, and they're like, "Kels, it's not our fault that you weren't here." But anyway, so I'm just gonna jump back real quick.
What?
I felt like the same thing was like, just be cool. Like, okay, when he finally let Maddie go, she just couldn't let it go. Like, she couldn't just get up, get her stuff, and bounce.
But he didn't let her go.
Yeah, he didn't let her go. at all.
No,
was
he
like-
uncuffed her, and then
Right, but he wasn't going to let her go.
No.
Yeah, but what do you expect?
He-
How
but
do you
I don't think
expect
he was
her to
gonna
react,
kill her, though.
I don't think.
I don't think
It
he
was
gonna
too
kill
late.
Her. I don't think he was
that
going to
point,
kill
I
her.
agree
yeah.
with you. I think he was trying to do everything possible
But
not to
kill her.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just
but
me.
he knew he was like, I think he knew he had to kill her.
I just felt like
he was just putting it off.
He wouldn't have busted her upside the head with the top of the toilet bowl lid had she not gone at him with the knife. So I say that to say, just be cool, because I understand Dewan was saying some stuff, and he had that little whatever.
Would you be cool?
I know, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't be cool.
Would you be cool in a bathtub for how many hours?
Oh, no, that's Maddie.
48, 24 hours?
I get it. But it's like, you know what? Let me just leave, because at this point, he's already shown that he's the dominator.
Right.
So why keep pressing that? Like, you already are not going to win. Just leave.
I don't think he had any intentions of letting her leave.
I
don't think so either.
I don't think he was going to kill her. He didn't want.
If not then later.
No,
he didn't want to kill her.
No.
He didn't want to kill her, and
inevitable.
he's not a bad guy. It's crazy to
Right.
see his evolution,
just
because
keeps-
he's not a bad person. But I think he was not going to let her go.
Nah,
Because
I don't think so
I think
either.
he was going to let her go.
I think
and
he
just
knew he
intimidate
had.
her.
I think he knew he had to kill her. I don't think he wanted to kill her
Violently.
No.
violently or so like
yet.
gruesome.
He wasn't
and
ready.
No, he wasn't ready. But I don't think he had any intentions of letting her go, because everything he did would have been out in the open.
Okay,
Yeah.
fair enough. Okay, so I digress. I felt like had Dewan just shut his mouth,
Right.
and then had Phil not jumped on him right before he left, Dewan wouldn't have went back and hacked him.
See,
He
I
would've
don't
been
think
cool
so
with
at
his
all.
cut.
I think Dewan was always going to do that.
I think so too.
The thing that really set him off, I guess, had he killed Maddie and Dewan was there, so like Dewan knew she was gone and wasn't going to talk, that would have been Phil's only chance at keeping some of the money.
Right.
Because then Dewan would have confidently known there's no trace.
I think the lingering
she saw his face.
of-
Like he says that. Like
Right.
you know you have to
Right.
kill her. You know you have to kill her. She saw who I am, bro. Like he wouldn't let it go. So as soon as he left and that girl wasn't dead, the money was gonna be gone.
I think it's that, in a large part that, and a large part the fact that prior to them working together to get this money, Dewan was running from Rask. Like they didn't have a good relationship prior. So I think from the beginning, Dewan is like, okay, I'm gonna help you out with this, but I'm just gonna get off anyway.
Yeah.
I think so.
Kelly, what was your thought? You didn't finish your thought.
Oh, I mean, I just felt like,
She didn't have to die.
well, yeah, but I just felt like Dewan, me personally, I don't think Dewan was going to get him like that. I think it really was that last interaction they had at the door. You
have too much trust in bad people.
No,
Maybe that's because that's how I get down. But I just felt like the deal was done, and he was like, I'll take care of that, and Dewan was going to do his thing. He'd already told Dewan, like, you're good, like, you do this for me and you're golden, like, you're protected.
Yeah.
So I don't feel like Dewan was really worried about that. Yeah, was he worried about Maddie? But
that's
I don't know.
not
I just felt like,
anymore.
but what did he gain? I mean, other than the money, where was the advantage in him taking all of the money, other than the obvious? I don't feel like there was any other gain besides like, oh, I got all this money now. Okay, cool, but I just don't feel like that was, if Maddie were to still be alive and he had robbed Phil, like he's still going to get busted anyway.
Right.
So I don't feel like that was the one thing that made him say, you know what, let me just go ahead and clean house.
It's not a spite, you're saying.
He already had the money. He was already going to flee.
Yeah.
So I just felt like it was really just like, yo, like you didn't have to put your hands on me like that and disrespect me after I just did all this,
Either way, Rask is screwed.
I don't think Rask was going to pay him.
Well, that's why he took his cut.
That's why he took his
That's
cut.
why he took his cut.
Yeah.
Right.
And he knew that. So it was both like they were playing each other.
Right. They were playing each
I think
other.
so.
And I don't know why Rask ever thought, like, if you need him, Dewan, to get the money, like, what part of this makes you think that you have any say in whether he gets his cut?
Right.
Really, like, if you
Yeah,
really
true.
think
there
about
is no
it.
honor amongst thieves. So
Like,
Right.
Yeah, that's what you got too much faith in.
That's a
criminals.
great-
Hey, man.
All right, well, the next scene shows Ronald being picked up by Oscar and JJ, and he's taken to the same spot that we saw in the first episode.
Except for they didn't give him any French toast.
They didn't give him French toast.
He did not get the
didn't.
French
Yeah, but they
toast.
didn't give him the other thing that other guy got either.
What?
The fire?
The fire? Well,
Yeah.
they tried.
Okay, well
They
that was
tried.
because nobody wanted to.
Exactly, yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Well, the one guy would have done it, and
Oh,
he
well,
wouldn't
of
let
course.
him. JJ didn't let him.
Oscar.
Oscar, thank you.
But Oscar's about that life, and he's about whatever JJ wants him to do.
Right.
Yeah.
So
He's a do
and
boy.
he already said that. He said, "Nah, you good. You good. I know you good."
Right.
So,
But I was kind of shocked to see no one actually do it and follow JJ's orders. I thought they were controlled by him, but it turns out
they were, but
think-
they have so much respect for Ronnie because you got to remember Ronnie is number 2, even though in that moment he wasn't like the number 2,
Right.
you know, and there's been some dissension building. He was still number 2. He's still the number 2 dude. So when JJ's not around, Ronnie's got it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I felt like they had such more of a respect for Ronnie because Ronnie he treated them better.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
he wasn't condescending. It wasn't like you work for me, you do what I tell you. Like
Yeah.
no, we're peers.
I think they really saw the kind of man that Ronnie was when he let that guy go, or at least he said, let him go and get him over the bridge. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because technically he didn't kill the guy. He didn't do anything. So there's no reason to kill somebody else, you know, because one of yours died. He didn't do it. So that's not who we need. So let him go. And I think the guys saw that, you know, that's honorable.
That
and I
justice.
think, yeah. And if he won't kill somebody who works for the opponent, like, you know, you have to respect him because then he just wouldn't kill family, his own, you know what I mean?
Right. I think also, even though the hood is they're all asking questions about what Ronald's up to, and maybe, you know, most don't agree with what he's up to, but I think they know at his heart of hearts, he's a stand-up guy. He's someone that they respect, that they also fear, but respect. And I think even the fact that when they approached Ronald and was like, JJ, want to see you out back, and he willingly came and like accepted the punishment because he knows what's gonna happen.
Coming.
He took it like a man, and he was really tough. And I feel like that speaks to how much they respect him. Like, all right, he's strapped to a chair right now and some barbed wire. He's taking it. Like, damn. All right.
The only thing I was gonna say that frustrated me was I don't feel like, and I mean I get it, but I don't feel like he has done that good of a job explaining Ronnie.
Okay.
We're Team Ronnie all day. We're still on Ronnie right now.
Well, I didn't know if you're talking about JJ.
So I felt like he didn't explain enough to them what this was and how it would benefit them. However,
To the Haitians?
really more so
Explain GenCoin to the Haitians?
right.
Yeah.
But really more so JJ. Like I felt like JJ
I don't think he should have.
and I don't think JJ wanted to
Because
hear it.
I don't think he
I don't
would've
think
cared.
JJ wanted to hear it, and I think he knows that. I mean, he was investing JJ's money technically. I mean, all their money, but
Nah, that's his money.
Oh.
That's my money.
Whose team you on?
today, my God.
Right,
No, that was just JJ. I mean, that was, it was
right.
technically the hood
So
money, but
it's the hood money, but it's JJ's money. So I just don't think that he had he explained it. I don't think he would have understood it either way. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think the Haitians, like, they want to see the dividends. Like, if he did that and came back, like, look at all this money I made, I don't think anybody would have been upset or questioned it. But the fact that he took the money, didn't really, like, ask for permission per se, and then now it's gone.
I also don't think, and I mean, I don't know anything about how that works when it's like the hood money, because they're trying to get that one basketball player to, you know, pay his cut or whatever because he's from there originally. But I don't think that any of them are like used to getting like payouts or whatever. Like the hood money kind of stays with the leader, it sounds like.
Yeah.
And you know, so they were never going to see that money, whether JJ had it or Ronnie had it invested or it was sitting in an account or tucked away in couches. Like,
but they
you
knew
know what I
something
mean?
was up. Yeah.
Well, I felt like, okay, well, and for at least what my limited knowledge or whatever you want to say, I feel like it wasn't necessarily that they will never see that money. If you need it family wise, if you need something, if there was a need, they were covered. And that was the insurance that they got working with JJ. I just felt like Ronnie wasn't as transparent as he could have been to get some of the heat off of him. However, the fact that the only people that was really giving him flack was just JJ kind of speaks to the fact that everyone else kind of trusts him. Not only that, but they see like, yeah, he took the money and they know he invested it in something. They don't know what, they don't know where, but they also know he's still with us. He's not riding around
Right.
and he's not riding
Right.
on 28s.
Right.
You
Right.
know what I'm saying? He's not eating lobster
Well,
with platinum strands of cheese on it. Like, so they know, like, he's still doing, he's
Lobster
not
and
doing
cheese?
anything different. Platinum strands.
Oh.
Platinum cheese is new.
Oh.
Just came out.
Sounds delicious.
Oh, word. Platinum cheese.
Platinum cheese.
Learn something new every day.
Yeah.
But that's I don't think I think that they would have had an issue with what Ronald was doing if any of their day-to-day lifestyle had changed. If somebody needed that money for family and it wasn't there. But that's why I don't think that anything about the way that they live their lives has been affected yet, for better or worse. It's just, so they're like kind of indifferent because it's like, well, nothing has changed for me, so I don't really care where the money's sitting right now. And I think Ronald kind of knows that, and that none of them are even going to understand this because they kind of say, you know, he's kind of that highbrow like mentality as far as he just has a better understanding of that, and so he knew this is something to put my money in, and they're gonna have to ride it out a little bit to see a return.
So JJ ends up kicking the crap out of Ronald in front of Tui. Tui actually watched the whole thing. Ronald takes the beating, goes home. Tam tries to fix him up, and he's like, I have to go to a meeting.
Right.
Oh,
Which he was late for.
when he was like,
I love that scene.
You know something about
like-
that?
she's like, you can't go to a meeting looking like that. You're gonna look like
He's like, yeah,
Crackle."
but what about this? And he's got a shirt, and I'm like, oh, yeah. That's all you need is a fly collar, and you're good.
So he shows up, he answers the big
And-
question why, and Alex loves it. He loves it.
It was
Chills. I'm just real talk. Twitter.
That could-
I literally went on Twitter right after, like, because I had chills. Like, I replayed it about 2-3 times.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
meant that I had to start it all the way over and fast forward it.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Crackle.
The way that
Hey.
Alex Bell reacted, that was so real.
It was.
Because everyone in the room felt the same way.
Yeah.
I mean, his delivery was just so powerful,
Yeah.
and it like the way he reacted was so real, and I think that's what's so special about that scene.
Yeah.
And why people are like, oh shit, that's the why.
right.
Yeah.
You don't know
Well, and
that isn't. He's not Ronald.
Right.
Like
Yeah,
in
that's
that
kinda when
moment,
he-
Right.
just
Right.
is. That's the only
Right.
person he is
Well,
in that
then,
moment.
Right.
and then too, I love how he went ahead and he addressed it. You know, because Alex just kept looking at him like the whole time, like everything else stopped. Because
Oh, you looking at this?
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like
this
this.
right here?
Yeah, I just got worked over
Yeah.
right now. I was just like,
I wanted to say, you know, after you say beats the crap out of him, whoever did the makeup and like his eye.
Oh my God, yeah.
I
Oh,
couldn't
shout out
stop-
to Jackie and Martha.
I couldn't
Jackie
stop.
Jackie and Martha, bravo,
guys are
bravo.
awesome.
Did he have a
Seriously.
prosthetic in?
He did.
Okay, because
He
Yeah.
did,
It
and
was
that
so
was a
sideways.
choice that he made.
Okay.
Okay.
That was an actor's choice, and he
Nice.
wanted. They told him, "Oh, well, you could just have your eye closed, you know, the whole time." And then he said, "No, I want a prosthetic. Like I want it to be shut completely. I want, you know,
Yeah.
the whole. That was something that
So-
he.
it was
Good
excellent.
for him for like knowing what he needed as an actor,
Yeah.
Right.
and good for them for giving it to him and doing such a good job. Because
Right.
I worked on a movie earlier this year that had quite a bit of that and prosthetics and everything, and there's a lot that goes into that. There's a lot of time. I mean, there's so much that goes into it on both. As an actor, to be able to sit there and let them do that and prepare that, and then for continuity, like there's so much that goes into it.
Right.
So I was like staring at his eye the whole, just like couldn't let go of it because I'm just like, how did they do that? Like
I
trying
knew it
to
was a
find the
prosthetic.
flaw.
I was just looking like that.
No,
No, I
It's
knew
great,
it was
though.
a
But it looked
prosthetic,
good, though.
but like
Yeah.
Yeah.
just trying to find the flaw because I'm just like, no, like.
Yeah,
Damn,
they did an
so-
amazing job. I mean, with the cuts and the barbed
Oh,
wire,
yeah.
and
It really
everything.
It did a lot to drive the point home because I think
Yeah.
had he just shown up late and was like, you know, I'm involved in some gang activity. I really need this money. Like,
Right.
I don't think
No.
it would have fell on like deaf ears.
I'm so glad that was all him. But
It was great.
Eddie's he's a genius.
But I felt like
Yes.
too, like Izzy was like, it kind of like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, I don't think she expected that either.
Right.
When he explained it, like
wait,
that
when
look on
No.
her face, she
Oh,
was just
yeah.
like, wow,
You.
like okay,
That-
like I think that changed the dynamic of their relationship because you know
Oh, yeah.
for a minute she'd been like, yo, look, we got to get rid of Ronnie. Like,
Oh, yeah.
he's a
Yeah.
liability.
Right.
And I think at that point it was like,
you
no.
out.
She realized how real it was for him.
Right. I was like, at that point, that bond was sealed. Like
Yeah.
it was-
because
it
that's
was
what
good.
I'm doing it for.
Exactly.
For people like that,
Yeah.
to give those people an opportunity. That's why I created what I created. You know what I mean? For people like that, which, funny story, sidetrack, apparently beefing with Saudi Arabia, and they like want Shalom to kill me because we made that comment about women in Saudi Arabia not being able to open their own bank accounts. Again, if somebody from Saudi Arabia is watching, guys, I apologize, but it is fake. You know, GenCoin is not real.
Yes.
The script is not real.
Fictional,
It's,
yeah.
you know,
It is just a show,
you live
people.
believably under imaginary circumstances. By no chance, you know, by no means did we mean for them to get offended. Like if anybody's gonna get offended, the Haitians would get offended for the way you know. But that's
Right.
it is what you know. Like
Holy
it's a
crap.
stereotype, but it's not for us to offend anyone
Right.
or you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But
Holy crap. All right.
Wow, some insight right there.
So the episode ends with Alex basically saying, let's go out to dinner and celebrate. They go out to dinner. After dinner, well, actually at dinner, it's important to say that he says that he's going to fully finance GenCoin.
I love that too.
I know.
And then she's like, really? You're going to do that?
I love that. He tells the waiter, like, that's who gets to,
Yeah.
like,
He's so
Right.
good.
like get it said to them. I'm about to tell
And then
these
Izzy's
three.
like, but wait, really? Like, what did
Yeah.
you just say? Don't play me. Like, what did you say? Like,
They then go to a club to celebrate. Nick is a terrible dancer.
right, we're all three of us are so out of place in that club. Like
Ronald
Izzy
looks kinda,
definitely doesn't go clubbing.
Yeah.
I mean, she doesn't have no kind of club attire,
Right.
as you can tell. Ronald was kind of, you know, he was kind of vibing. Like, he catches his vibe anywhere. Nick is like, finally.
It
you
kind of,
know?
to me, it felt like he hadn't been out in a while.
Yeah.
So
Right.
No,
he was
he
in a
had a
relationship.
girlfriend.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he wasn't doing that.
What, like, I mean, they did stuff, but not this kind of thing. They
No.
weren't going to clubs.
No.
No.
So let's.
But Ronald becomes suspicious because he sees some activity with
Vera.
Right,
and
Vera
and the Russians.
Russians. Right.
Yeah.
So the Russians were packing.
Yeah, they're real chummy.
So now we kind of have to look out for that storyline now.
I know. I'm like,
Well,
where's that gonna
and
go?
we heard Dewan got asylum.
in
Where?
Russia. In
Oh,
Moscow.
yeah.
So, just saying.
Whoa.
I don't know if that turns into anything, but.
Agent Rask gets a call saying that they're investigating Maddie's death. They found a body, and he freaks out. And there's this whole scene of him just in the car, like.
Oh, well, wait.
No, before that, you're right. He goes to his ex-wife's house, and he basically just.
I didn't expect him to tell her.
No,
but when you
and then I was waiting for him to like, cause I could see her getting more scared.
Yeah.
And then I was waiting for him to be like, nah, I'm just messing with you.
Do you think she
And-
believed him?
Yes.
Yes,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Definitely.
Because she knows. I think that might be part of the reason that they had a divorce. They got divorced or going through the divorce in the first place is because of his temper. Because his temper is out of control.
Right.
That scene when he tells her, like, as kind of off and creepy, like, that was like the most normal he's ever been, I feel
But
like.
it was also it
Like,
showed
you know
him
what I
very
mean?
vulnerable as well. Like I felt like he was very vulnerable. Like I felt like at any moment
Yeah.
he was going to cry. And like there was
Yeah.
a
But that's
part
what I
where-
mean. Like,
It was like his
that's
human
like the
side.
most normal I've ever
Right.
seen him act. Like he's actually acting like a person, not a person I would ever picture
But see,
telling
I don't know.
somebody
I
that they
think
would
he's
kill
I think he's
someone.
a person all the time. It's a switch.
Right.
And then when that switch flips, it's a whole nother monster.
Right.
But yeah, he definitely was very vulnerable in that moment when he was telling her that, and then you even see in the car like I don't know if this was intentional, but like he did this number where like you hold your head back, and I know it's me whenever I'm about to squirt a couple tears.
Yeah.
I hold my head back like get back in
Thugs
there.
don't cry.
And then right,
And then
so
trying
I'll
to choke
just,
himself with things. That's what I got, right? He was
So-
choking
Well,
himself.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
He tried to.
He trying to kill himself.
Trying to kill himself. Yeah.
I was like, dude, this moment in this car right now, like.
But it was so real. It was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was.
honestly, I
Man.
was watching it like this the whole time.
Martin
like,
is the
oh my
goat.
God.
He choked me out in one scene.
Really?
I don't think you guys are there.
We'll get there though. It's cool. It's cool.
Yeah, but
coming,
I
it's
mean,
coming.
yeah.
Spoiler
well,
alert.
let me just shut up.
All right. Well, we don't have too much.
That's why I don't watch it. Like, you didn't have that luxury because you're in it.
We don't have too much time left, so let's fast forward to the last scene where Tam calls
The
Ronald,
scene.
and basically she's scared. Tui's missing. They can't find him, and they show a scene where Tui's hanging out with, I guess, Oscar, JJ, and the whole gang.
The gang.
JJ gives him a gun, I guess, to say "kill your father."
Yeah.
And
Right.
he shoots
It's on you to handle it.
JJ
You gotta
and
handle
Oscar
it.
in the
Like,
face.
what
see-
did you expect him to do when
I
you say,
didn't-
"Can you kill your dad"?
But I didn't.
But I thought he.
I didn't expect that.
I didn't expect that either
That-
because he seemed to be rebelling against
Right.
his father.
When you see it on the script, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
When I saw them filming it, I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Definitely didn't expect that.
Well, I didn't, right, and I didn't either. There was a part of me, I was like, you know, that'd be crazy if he did blah, blah, blah. But then I was thinking like, okay, he's going to go back home. He's not going to pop his dad. He's going to let his dad know what's
Right.
like, look,
Yeah.
they want me to do this. I'm telling you, so we need to come up with a game plan. Definitely didn't think he was going to shoot him in the throat, but at the same time, I feel like it's like the audacity, bro. Like, you want me to kill my dad? Like, no.
Yeah.
You send one of your goons to go kill my dad.
I'm glad
Don't
that
ask me.
I'm glad that he thought
Right.
quick.
Yeah.
You know? Because had he left, there might have not been no Ronald.
Right.
Like
That's true.
it would have been over
Exactly.
for the whole family, actually. Tam, Tui, the baby. I think I'm glad he just like
And that's what I mean. I wasn't like, oh, he ended up coming, he's gonna pop him off right now.
Right.
But as soon as you see it, you're like, there was no other way this could play out and have Tui and Ronald both stay alive.
From jump, I felt like JJ was just using Tui as like a tool to like turn him on his dad and like manipulate him. So to see it reach a head like that, I was like, I knew this was gonna happen at some point. He was gonna like ask him to like not necessarily to kill Ronald, but there was gonna be a point where he would really have to decide what side he's on.
Right.
And he was trying to force him to decide in the most extreme way.
Right.
he knew that that's like Ronald's soft spot. His
Yeah,
family.
he said it though. He's like, "That's your daddy. This is gonna be hard." Like,
yeah, he knows that's his soft spot.
Like not
so.
hard, impossible.
Yeah,
But
who
okay,
does
so
that?
it happens. They go back to the house, and they're prepping for
War.
Yeah,
war,
they're bracing for
basically.
impact all
Yeah.
day.
And
What were they saying?
yeah, so
Our Haitian.
much to
they
our
were
surprise.
just saying Haiti for a while, and then they were saying
Right.
Million Fella Force.
Which means.
Yeah, tell us.
Their strength and unity. It's
Yeah.
on the Haitian
Flag.
flag.
I got chills,
bottom.
like just
Yeah.
knowing what that represents, and that they came for Ronnie and Tui, like saying like now is time to be together, not to fight. You
Right.
know?
Yeah.
That was a beautiful scene.
Right, and it was a passing of the torch,
Like, I really
low-key.
do have goosebumps.
Like
Yeah.
it was a passing of the torch. Like, okay, now you run the show, and you're going to run it the way you want to run it, and we
Right.
believe in you. So I mean, I was just like,
I think it was kind of a relief for
It
the
was.
Haitians because
Yeah.
I mean the way that Oscar and JJ operated, any of those guys could have been dead any minute. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
If he'll kill his second man in charge, he'll kill anybody else.
Right.
He doesn't care. So I think it was like a relief, like shit, you know what I mean? There might be a way out the hood.
Well, and prior to that, they were beefing with other gangs. There was this
Right.
back and forth happening. There was so much turmoil, and then to have the inner ranks kind of quarreling with each other, Ronald and JJ, I think to kind of neutralize JJ, and
Right.
because he was the one really just like pushing for them to fight back and like egging on all that violence. So
Right.
to have him out of the picture, I think you're right. It was a sigh of relief for everybody because they know Ronald's not like that, only
Right.
when it needs to be, and he's definitely more diplomatic and understanding. So
Absolutely.
to have him as head dog now, it leveled everything
Well,
out.
and for them, he protects his own. Like
Right.
he made
Yeah.
that very clear.
Yeah.
Right.
For sure.
So
Yeah. All right. Well, before we get into predictions, I want to thank you for coming on.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
yes, we
It was
appreciate
really
it.
cool having you. We really hope it gets renewed for season 2. Hey! What is that?
It's D Wade.
D Wade.
Oh, D Wade, yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh, you're a Miami Heat fan?
Miami. I'm not. Actually, I'm a Lakers fan, but
Yes, girl.
shout out.
Shirt, though.
Shout out to Miami Heat. They reached out to me and sent me a really cute care package
Okay.
because they liked that, Izzy was representing Miami on the show. So,
You got to represent.
And
I
You're
love
representing
Wade as
Miami
a
as a
player, and, I'm representing Miami because I love my city, but I'm a Lakers fan.
you
Smart
kind of
girl.
have to be when you move to LA
Yeah.
Go Knicks.
and enjoy entertainment.
So, predictions, guys. Predictions for the last 2 episodes of season 1. Anybody want to go first?
Oh my goodness. What's going on?
every time.
She's like, what?
Aliens?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aliens. Anybody want to volunteer to go first?
Sure. I'll take the ball, coach. I feel like we've only begun to see the things that are going to come to a head with Rask. It's just going to get a little bit worse.
Okay.
The heat's going to get even hotter when it comes to him because I think things are going to start to point towards him. Everything's coming to a head. On the flip side of the coin, this whole thing with GenCoin, and Alex, doing the, fully financing. I think it's going to be great, but I think there's also something else going on. It's not all peaches and cream, and we're going to see that. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
All right.
I got some other ones, but I'm gonna leave it at that.
Anybody else want to go?
I will predict that. I mean, Alex comes with a lot of money, he's not corporate, but like, he's got his assistant, and she seems like super corporate. Like she kind of keeps him in check, and so I sort of feel like there's gonna be something where, I don't know, they have to like the reason that Izzy got involved in this and coming together with everybody is challenged. Like, she's going to be asked to like give up more of the company than she wants to, or like not have control, or they're, like she's going to end up signing something like not knowing what, like they hide like the fine print or something.
There's going
like
to be
that.
some trickery.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'm going to agree with you on that. I think that Alex is going to totally screw them over, to be honest, because that moment in the club where he's like, I've actually been trying to figure this out on my own for a long time.
Stealing code.
That
But
to
he
me,
said
I was
she's
like,
special.
no. Yeah, but I think he was
think
just turning on the flirt with her.
But
Like,
I think that is genuine.
What was
Like,
your?
I think
I
he's
think he'll
invested
still
in
screw her
Izzy.
over, though.
Because he says
Like-
he says he invests in people.
What was your classmate's name from Stanford?
Oh yeah, the Nico.
Oh, Nico.
Nico.
yeah.
Nico is going to play a huge part in
think
episodes
so?
9
Maybe.
and 10. Stealing the code.
I think we see Dewan again, and I actually
do?
kind of think maybe we see I want to say Adam. Oh my gosh, his ex-girlfriend.
Nick. Oh, Taylor.
Yes, Taylor. I thought that was her name, but I wasn't confident enough to say it.
And the Russians and Haitians.
Wow. You guys had some really good predictions.
There's a lot of stuff coming
Wait.
in the last episodes.
Do Nick and Izzy finally like?
Hey!
Finally, what?
Wait, no, they've had little like
No.
romantic moments. I think
think
I'm
so?
secretly rooting for them to like
No way.
They didn't have romantic moments.
Yes.
not romantic, but just like coy.
No.
Oh,
the salsa.
the salsa. When we
when
were
he was like
celebrating.
hugging her before the
No.
meeting when she was nervous.
All right, you guys are gonna make me mad.
Oh God.
We gotta go.
It's fine.
All right, guys, we
Adam,
gotta
you are
We
fine.
gotta
Oh my
get
God.
going. I want to thank Otmara Marrero for coming on once again. Where can they find you on social media? If anyone
They
wants to contact
could
you.
find me on Twitter. It is _Omara OTMARA, and on Instagram _OT.
All right.
Nice.
I'm Josh Rodriguez. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Josh_Rodriguez_.
And as always, Courtney Henderson. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Cohen, COUHEN.
Chaos J, KAAOSJ, all day. You know where to find me. Twitter and Instagram. Holla.
All day.
And you can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Christine Bean with 3 E's, where you have the last 2 episodes coming up. I want to know how you guys think it all ends. Tweet me.
All right, guys. Take care. Thanks for watching.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.